girlfriend, Bessie Joseph, had 3 kids. They were aged 8, 9 and 10 and had terrible living conditions. These 2 ladies were really mean and evil to their 3 kids. And on many occasions, they've given them dog food to eat instead of human being food. The crazy thing is, they didn't even own a dog, so they literally bought dog food just to give to their kids as some kind of punishment. Now, luckily, Maryland police stepped in and arrested these 2 crazy ladies. They were charged with a bunch of things, and I'm so glad they were. But luckily, they're not going to be getting their 3 kids back anytime soon. And in their mugshots, they look pretty rough and scary, so they'll fit right in prison. Next up is oily wedding. So we know that in some places, arranged marriages are pretty common. Personally, I think arranged marriages are very wrong. Now, sometimes people arrange marriages and the daughter simply says, nah, I'm not into that guy. Now, that's not all that bad, but sometimes parents go crazy when their daughters don't want to accept their arranged marriages. Well, one day in March 2018 in San Antonio, Texas, 2 parents were arrested. The parents' names were Abdullah and Hamdia, and that is because they threw hot oil in the face of their daughter. That is because their 16-year-old daughter didn't want to get arranged marriage. They even tried to give their daughter $20,000 to have this arranged marriage. But she simply said no, so they used hot oil on her. Luckily, the FBI got involved and arrested these terrible parents. And now the 16-year-old is in CPS and not in arranged marriage. Next up is party mom. So, when you become a parent, you have to get more responsible. You may like going out to nightclubs, partying, and having a good time, but when you're a parent, you have to put that to rest. Or at least get a babysitter for your kids while you do it. Well, on January 1st, one mom from Texas was arrested. The mom named Denira Williams had left 5 of her kids all alone. The kids' ages ranged from 1 to 12 years old. And because it was New Year's, she wanted to go out and party. Apparently it was her birthday and she was attending a barbecue with friends. But she left 5 kids all alone in the house with the front door wide open. The kids were found wandering around outside of Walgreens a mile away from their home. The kids had barely any clothing on and no shoes. Luckily, a police chief picked up these kids before some creep did. After he found out who the mother was, he arrested her and she went to jail. Judging by her mugshot, she had quite the night of partying. But she needs to learn to get way more responsible, especially when she has 5 kids. One of her kids is 12 years old, so it's not like she's a new parent. But I guess some people are just not good parents. Check out the comment shop right corner to vote for the worst parents on this list. I think it's the one who used to taser on her own kids. There's absolutely no excuse for that, and I think she should be locked up for a good long while. If you guys want more amazing videos, check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s. Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at the 10 cheapest people in the world. So everyone loves saving money, and it's a great thing to do. It means you can buy more meaningful things instead of that $7 Starbucks coffee. But sometimes, as you'll see in this video, people take it way too far. So here are some ridiculously cheap people who took saving money way too far. You better hope you never date any of these people, otherwise you'll have to pay for every single date. Before we get into it, one cheap thing you can do is subscribe and press the notification bell too. It is free. Coming in as number 10 we have do shower. So for most people a shower is a basic necessity. You have to have it in your house as you likely use it once or even twice a day. Or if you're more like me, at least once every few months. Well, one day someone's shower head snapped off, meaning they can't use their shower, right? It would just be one stream of water and wouldn't really cover them or get them clean. Most people would see this as a necessity and pay someone to fix their shower. Or at least buy an actual shower head from a hardware store for around $10. But what's the point of that? Save the world and replace your shower head all at the same time. Someone just finished off their Mountain Dew and instead of recycling it, they upcycled it. They simply taped it onto their shower nozzle and then used that as a new shower head. All they had to do was drill some holes in the bottom and voila, you have a brand new shower head. This has to be one of the cheapest people on Earth. I'd rather use my outdoor sprinkler system than one of these things. I just hope to clean it out thoroughly, otherwise it's gonna have very sticky hair. Also, it looks like with this design the water would stay in, it's making it all nasty and dewy. Hey, I guess that fits the bottle, right? But imagine bringing a date home, her wanting to take a shower at your place, and then her seeing this. Chances are you're gonna get walked out on right away. Next up is cheapest mom. Is your mom cheap? Maybe you've driven past McDonald's one day and she's refused to stop. Or perhaps she refuses to buy branded products in the store and always buys the own brand items. Well, compared to this lady, your mom is acting like a billionaire. That is because this lady made headlines for being the cheapest mom on Earth. She is so cheap, she was actually featured on the TLC TV show Extreme Cheapskates. But what did this mom even do that makes her so cheap? Well, she bought second-hand clothes, which is quite normal, right? Well, not in this case, as she bought second-hand lingerie. Well, not in this case, as she bought second-hand underwear. I didn't even know they sell second-hand underwear. That should be illegal. When she picked it up, she said it felt crusty and nasty. But despite that, she still bought it. She spoke to the store owner and asked how much it cost. He then said about $2, and she said, sorry, that's out of my price range. To be honest though, $2 would be out of my price range for second-hand underwear. In fact, you couldn't pay me $2 to wear second-hand underwear. But I guess this lady really loves saving money. I can't believe she really smelled the underwear and said it looks crusty. If I'm being honest, I'd rather go commando than wear that. Next up, we have popcorn alarm. If your house is burning down, how do you like to find out? Chances are you have a smoke detector or a fire alarm in your house. That's the most smart thing to do, as it means you can prevent many fires. Well, one day someone didn't want to buy a $100 fire alarm, so instead we used microwavable popcorn. If you can't figure out how this would work and you think it's some kind of genius thing you're not getting, it isn't. The thing is that when it gets hot enough, the microwavable popcorn will start to pop and make a noise. Kind of like the film Scary Movie, except this is probably more dangerous than having some killer stalking around your own home. At least you can have a nice snack as your house burns to the ground. But seriously, your house would have to burn quite a lot before this popcorn alarm ever worked. Guys, no matter how much you want to save money, always do the same thing and never do this terrible, terrible cheapskate idea. Next up, we have budget speakers. So we've seen the Beats Pill. Well, now let's check out the Beats Carter. I know not everyone can afford fancy music speakers, but if you can't, please don't try and make your own hi-fi system. It won't work. As you can see, one very cheap person made their own speaker system. They got a roll of toilet paper and cut a phone slot in it. They then cut open 2 cartons of milk to try to make a speaker. Now, I'm not saying this wouldn't work. In fact, I'm sure it is louder than just playing out your phone speaker. But imagine showing up to a house party and this is how the person's playing their song. Chances are everyone's going to leave that party and you will be labeled a big cheapskate. One cheap life hack that does actually work is putting your phone in a glass. That does actually increase your phone's volume and looks way less terrible than this. Next up is shopping grill. You know how you have to put €1 in a shopping cart before taking it out of the stack? This is so people have to come back and get their euro out, so they don't steal the shopping cart or take it home. Well, if you don't mind giving up €1, then you can get a free grill. All you need to do is put your coin in a shopping cart from a local store and take the cart. Then dump that cart on top of a fire and have your very own barbecue grill. That's exactly what one very cheap person did, and it actually did work. They just put their shopping cart sideways over a fire pit and put some nice red meat on that grill. I have to say, this one does actually work, unlike some of the ones on this list, which I cannot imagine really working well. But just imagine inviting your neighbors over for a cookout and then seeing this. That is not the cookout I would want to hang around at. The kind of people who put shopping carts on fire grills are the same kind of people who put people in fire grills. Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration, but if you're being this cheap, there's clearly something not quite right about you. Next up, we have match cake. So who doesn't love getting a cake during a celebration? Perhaps it's a birthday cake or a cake celebrating another big achievement. Most people put candles in that cake and then use a match to light those candles. But why not just cut out the middleman and stick matches right in your cake? That is exactly what some very, very budget people did. Why spend big money on candles when you can just jam some matches in there? Sure, they may burn out after a few seconds and you may get ash in your nice chocolate cake. But hey, it's worth it to save that extra dough, right? I see this person also has a milk jug in the backdrop of this image. I really wouldn't be surprised if they used that to make a speaker like the other guy did. But whoever got this as a birthday cake, I'm sure had one of the saddest birthdays imaginable. If your family's putting matches in your birthday cake, do not expect to get any presents from them. Next up is Pizza Cutter. So this one is very cheap and ridiculous. But at least it does incorporate some very interesting, if not genius, engineering. This guy didn't have a pizza cutter to cut up his pizza into equal slices. So instead he recycled the lid from a tin can. He then used a nut and bolt to attach that to a metal ruler. And just like that, you have your very own DIY redneck pizza cutter. I have to say, this is absolutely ridiculous, and I think I'd rather just use scissors to cut the pizza up. Just imagine going to a classy Italian restaurant and then bringing out this to cut your food up. That kind of behavior would get you 0 stars on Yelp. Next up is fancy cups. If you go to most big houses, they'll have a wine cellar. They may also have various wine glasses and fancy glasses available for you to drink out. But not everyone can afford such luxuries. Well, that is where Mountain Dew bottles come in once again. As you can see, this college student cut up various Sprite and Mountain Dew bottles to make fancy glasses. He's got a whiskey-style glass, a regular glass, and even a wine glass, all made out of plastic bottles. Although I'm pretty sure if you drank out of that, you would cut your mouth. If he was smart, he would have put the bottles on a iron to even out those edges. But even so, this guy is very cheap and also kind of genius. Personally, I'd rather just not drink out of these. But if you don't have any wine glasses and you want to feel fancy, then why not try this out? Next up is drink brackets. If there's one thing cheapskates are good at, it's making their own kitchen utensils and accessories. For example, who would buy a very expensive drainer when they already play tennis? You may not see the correlation between kitchen utensils and tennis. Well, that means you are not thinking like a cheapskate. As you can see, this person emptied out pasta water in their sink. But instead of using an expensive $5 drainer from IKEA, they used their tennis racket. They already owned a tennis racket, so they figured why not just use that? I have to say it did work, but I just hope they cleaned that tennis racket before doing this. Otherwise, they're going to be enjoying their pasta with a side of tennis ball hair. Check out the Pawn Shop and Corner to vote for the cheapest person on this list. I think it's the mom who bought used underwear, so I didn't even know they sell that stuff. If you guys want some there'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. I'll even show my face in some of those videos if you're curious. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. If you like you enjoyed it, if you have any contributions, subscribe to the content.
I was not like the tricks. I mean, like the tricks that do.
Ways to hack their life. One thing many college students love doing is partying and then waking up late the next day. But that sometimes clashes with their lectures, which can be very early. Well, one day someone must have woken up too late to make breakfast, but they still had to go to their lecture. So this person, why not open up my own breakfast bar in my college lecture? I'm not sure how they did this, but they did. As you can see, they have
Put them things in the garbage and in the sink.
That
is not a big run.
The fact he got up so late he had to make breakfast in his lecture is lazy but genius. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and I guess this guy agrees with that statement. I'm not sure if he exactly needed pancakes and bacon. When most people they just
Remember, drama that thing. You have to drink it.
I want to drink it.
This makes you drink. So you know when you're sitting on the couch watching TV and you have to pick up your drink? I can't think of anything more exhausting than doing that, right? Well, that's why someone made a workaround, so they can chill out on their couch and not even have to bend over to pick up their drink. As you can see, this lazy guy attached many straws like we've done. He then put that in his drink, put the other end in his mouth, and laid back. As you can see, this guy can now sip his drink while relaxing on his couch. His roommates might not be good, but this guy is having the time of his life. Bill Gates says when he has a complex problem, he gets lazy person to solve it. This is because they always find it quick. Hey guys, what's up? Charlie here. Today we're going to be looking at 10 crazy ways kids became millionaires. So we all know that millionaires usually have worked for ages and ages. You rarely ever see a millionaire under 30, let alone a child millionaire. Well, here are 10 kids who made millions of dollars and live in all life concerns. Before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too? Coming in as number 10, we have Eric Goodman. Look for you being at 12 years of age. You were likely playing outside with your friends, or maybe goofing around watching TV. No, Eric Goodman just discovered something called Bitcoin. This was years and years ago when Bitcoin was only a few cents. He had $1,000 and spent it all on Bitcoin. He sold that Bitcoin for $100,000 and made his own business. Then after this technology business was very successful, he sold it quickly. The client said he made him $100,000 in cash or 300 Bitcoin. At the time, 300 Bitcoin wasn't worth that much. But Eric still opted for Bitcoin. And that gamble really paid off, as he's now worth $1.5 million. We all know that Bitcoin recently skyrocketed in value, and so did Eric's. Eric is now super rich and has been growing many millions. He even had an entire luxury book about him made last year. On Instagram and social media, he's a self-styled troll. He's kind of like the infamous Farmer Road Lunch. Troll blind and he's a millionaire. Only Eric is a lot younger and also not in prison. Eric's Instagram is filled with pictures of him sleeping with money. He says that money is so worthless compared to Bitcoin, he's sleeping. He also shares photos of him with luxury cars and private jets. He was listed as one of Time's most influential teens. And recently, he says he wants to make the best university in the world despite being a high school dropout. He dropped out of high school because he was making so much money with Bitcoin. But now he wants to make his own university and wants to make it the best one in the world. Next up is Ryan Kelly. So many people want to make money when they're young. Then they go towards your own doors. Well, perhaps they said so companions. Well, when he was only 13, Ryan Kelly made his own small business selling food to dogs. He made luxury gourmet furnishings in his own house. He then sold them to his friends and neighbors. And he also sold them to other people door to door. He was making around $800 a month, which is very good for such a young person. But when Shark Tank did a special kids episode, he went on it. He pitched his business to Ryan Barbara into the Sharks. And Barbara invested $25,000 into his business for 25% of his business. So Ryan went from making $800 a month to $350,000 a month after this. Not only was he able to expand because of Barbara's investment, but his business really got famous after he was on national TV. Ryan is now the operator of a multi-million-dollar business and has become so successful so young. Next up is Abby Fleck. So if there's one thing everyone loves, it's bacon. We just love biting into a delicious piece of crispy bacon, but one thing not everyone likes is cooking bacon. That is because it's very messy thanks to all the grease. Greasing bacon is not good for two reasons. It means you and your pan get all greasy, and also sometimes grease seeps into the bacon. This means the bacon will taste all greasy and also add more calories on your meal. Well, when she was just 12, a girl named Abby Fleck came up with an idea to stop bacon being cooked in a pool of grease. She came up with an invention called Making Bacon. This device is simply a small piece of plastic, but it's actually very genius. You simply hang the bacon strips on this device. That way they won't have to sit in a pool of grease as you're cooking them. You then simply put the device in the microwave and it makes delicious, crispy bacon without any grease. She made her first prototype and then was able to patent her idea. She then struck a distribution deal with Walmart. With Walmart being the biggest supermarket in the USA, this made Abby a ton of money. Despite it being a very simple product which is just made of plastic, Abby's made millions of dollars from it at such a young age too. Who knows what Abby may be making in the future. Next up is Nick D'Aloisio. When Nick was 13, he was like many other teenagers. He lived in London and did things that every other teenage boy does. However, the one thing that set Nick apart from the rest was that he had a big, interesting computer program. When he was just 13, he made his own app. The app was called Summly, and it was all to do with summing up using a smartphone. After just a year of it being available, it was already downloaded by 200,000 users. After this, Nick received $1 million in funding from various celebrities. This includes John Lennon's late wife Yoko Ono, Ashton Kutcher, and Stephen Fry. A year later, when Nick was just 15, he sold his app Summly to Yahoo for $30 million. This made Nick an overnight millionaire. He's now 22 years old and is running various different technology companies. It's estimated his net worth is around $50 million. But what's even more impressive is he had around $20 million by the time he was only 15. Next up is Maddie Bradshaw. When Maddie was 10 years old, she wanted to buy some locker room decorations. She looked around online and in stores, but she didn't see anything she liked. So, her uncle gave her 50 Coke bottle caps. You may think a Coke bottle cap is just a piece of trash you throw it away, but Maddie proves that one man's trash is a 10-year-old girl's treasure. She loved making decorations out of the Coca-Cola bottle caps. She then started selling them around her school. And after some time, she decided to make her own business called M3 Girl Designs. She recycled bottle caps and made jewelry and locker room designs out of them. She then sold these online and she made $1.6 million in the first year of operations. She later went on Shark Tank and sold her business for millions of dollars. She then made a brand new line of jewelry as an adult called Spark Life. And a few years back, she even wrote an inspirational book called You Can Start a Business Too. This is aimed at kids and tells kids all about how to start their very own business and become childhood millionaires. Next up is Toy Kid. So if you think of the world's most popular YouTubers, you like it with PewDiePie, Logan Paul, and Todd Dance. But unless you're a 6-year-old, you may not know the world's richest YouTuber. That's right, one of the richest YouTubers in the world is only 7 years old, and his name is Ryan. The channel Ryan's Toy Review has around 15 million subscribers. And it also has around 24 billion views, which translates to millions of dollars. Ryan and his parents began making these YouTube videos for fun, but after his videos miraculously racked up millions and billions of views, it turned into a big business. Ryan now collaborates with big brands such as Walmart to sell his very own toys. He's so young, he doesn't even know how much money he's making, but when he's older, he'll realize he is a very rich kid. Next up is Kid Homo. So, owning a home is a very big accomplishment, and it's not usually something people under 20 do. Nowadays, even people under 30 usually don't own their own homes and have to rent an apartment or something. That's why you may be confused when I tell you that a 13-year-old named Luke Phil is an Iowa middle-class student who's bought his own home. He did something genius, and that was to build his very own 89-square-foot tiny home. He built it in his parents' backyard, and despite it being a perfect house you can actually live in, it only cost $1,500. He made the $1,500 all by himself by mowing his next doors. But apparently only took him around 1 year to build this amazing house. And it's not every day that someone who's 13 years old has their very own house. If you check out Luke's YouTube channel, he actually does a whole house tour of this tiny house. Luke is definitely a very genius kid and is absolutely going places. Next up is Jacob Sartorius. So this is the kid millionaire that everybody loves to hate. If you've used the internet, I'm sure you've heard of Jacob Sartorius for good or bad reasons. Most recently, he was dating Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown. However, they recently broke up. But how did Jacob Sartorius become a multi-millionaire despite only being 15 years old? Well, he apparently made his first million when he was only 13. He got very big on the lip-syncing app Musical.ly. He then transferred that following to other apps like Vine, Instagram, and Twitter. He now gets paid tons of money from his music. That's right, this kid made music with big artists, such as Black Bear, and he now has tours and sells a lot of merchandise, making him millions of dollars. It's pretty crazy a kid can be playing on an app one day and then become a multi-millionaire the next. What do you think of Jacob Sartorius? Do you love him or do you hate him? Next up is Jojo Siwa. So you may not have heard of this girl, but chances are you have heard her music. Just like her hit song Boomerang, which has nearly 600 million views on YouTube. Jojo Siwa's net worth is estimated to be around $20 million despite only being 15 years old. But how did she do this? Well, she first got famous by appearing on the TV show Dance Moms. You see, she started off as a dancer, but then after that TV show ended, her fame continued on social media. She grew very popular on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. She's got around 7 million followers on Instagram and another 7 million on YouTube. She now not only dances, but also does music. And you can even buy Jojo Siwa on the website.
I'll come back.
Jojo Siwa is known to many kids, but will soon be a household name. Next up is Danielle Bregoli. Do you think a catchphrase could make you millions and millions of dollars? Most people would say no, but not Danielle Bregoli. Danielle Bregoli first starred on Dr. Phil as a problematic teen. However, she went viral online for saying the phrase, "Catch me outside, how about that?" She then became an overnight celebrity with over 15 million Instagram followers. She also does music under the name Bad Baby. She recently did a music video. With Ty Dolla $ign, and her most popular song has over 100 million views. Her net worth is around $10 million and she charges $100,000 per promotional Instagram post. So if you want Bad Baby to advertise your product, you better be very, very rich. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for your favorite rich kid on this list. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10.
Go quick.
Yo, chat, the code is on the screen. The code is Beast23, all lowercase on NOS Duels. We're doing kill on site. Code is on.
Hey, guys.
Code is on screen.
Kill quick.
That's a 54 finishing, now they're goaded. Look at this man, Nova. Make sure you guys get up in this queue, chat. Code is Beast23, all lowercase on NOS Duels. Set this game up. It's been at 28 for like a good 30 seconds. Is everybody ready, chat? If you guys are not ready, type not ready. Let me know, let me know. If you guys are not ready, type not ready up in the chat.
Charlie here, and today we're going through
We have 50 in the stream and only 30 up in the queue. Alright, I'm gonna give you guys another 30 seconds shot. Another 30 seconds. code is Beast23 all
10
lowercase
people
on
who
any
can't
list.
catch a break. Do you ever have one of those days where you wish you just stayed in bed?
We're doing kill
Yeah, I'm
outside
sure
for the
people have bad
same
days
time.
from time to time. But these are people who started their day off in the worst way possible and just can't seem to catch a break. If you guys want to have a better day than these people, then why not subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10, we have toilet paper. So one of the first things many people do when they wake up in the morning is go to the bathroom. Well, one day a guy did exactly that, like he does every other day. Except on that day he'd run out of toilet paper. Well, not really, but I doubt he's going to use any of it. That is because there was a gigantic spider right in his toilet paper. I don't know how many of you guys are watching this on the toilet, but if you are, then check your paper. The ironic thing is, many people use tissues and toilet paper to squash spiders. Everyone. He must think he can't kill me if I went over killing paper. I guess there's nothing else this guy can do except burn down his house. I'm sure it had a good run. But guys, be honest, if you saw this in the morning, you just go back to bed. If this is how your day's gonna start, you know it's not gonna get better. Next up is bike ride. So, cycling is a
Go
great
quick.
and cheap way to get around. The only downside to cycling is it can be kind of dangerous. If you get into a car accident, you're likely to die. The airbags are better. But with a bike, it's just you and the elements. Anyone who's ever fallen over their handlebars knows it can be majorly painful. But a lot of the time, falling over your handlebars can be your fault. You may be going too quickly over a bumpy road. Or maybe you weren't paying attention to what was in front of you. Well, one day a guy was cycling when all of a sudden he fell over his handlebars. But his bike stayed upright in the exact same place. You may be wondering how on earth this happened. Well, take a look at the bottom half of this image. As you can see, his bike tire literally got stuck in the crack of the road. That's what you get for using those pro-thin bike tires. I guess the town didn't think anything could fit down this crack, but they must have not thought about these thin bike tires. Just imagine dropping an iPhone down this crack too. I just hope the guy was able to get this bike.
Alright, 20 more seconds.
Out of the road. Otherwise, this is a King Arthur situation. Next up is laces. So, this is clearly someone who's not getting enough sleep. Nobody is their best form in the morning. Before we've had our morning coffee or morning few coffees, we're not exactly switched on. Many people have spilled their milk while making cereal, or maybe they've squirted their toothpaste right into the sink. Those things are understandable, but one day a lady made the dopiest mistake I've ever seen. As she was walking to work, she realized her feet were super cold. Then she looked down and realized her feet weren't even in her shoes. She'd slid her socks into her shoelaces and then tied them up. When she realized, she posted on Snapchat saying I'm super sleepy. She said she was very confused as to why she was so cold after putting on her work shoes. And it looks like she's walking around with a random iPhone plug too. She really does need to get her life together. Much like Roseanne, she really needs to lay off the ambient. Next up is iodine. So most of the people having bad mornings on this list.
Yo, Brandon, we are doing festivals, Brody. But after this game, I am ending my stream because I'm too tired.
They're doing pretty routine things.
But I will be
They were just waking up or going to work. But here's someone who was kicking off their day in a very fun way. One morning, somebody decided to go skydiving. Now, because this is a list of people who can't catch a break, you may assume that while skydiving, a lot of things could go wrong. But don't worry too much. This guy didn't forget his parachute or something. Instead, he caught a very unfortunate photo of himself skydiving. This was just after he jumped out of the plane. Now, at a first glance, this image doesn't look too bad. But if you look down or up slightly, you'll see a black square in the background. You can put away your tinfoil hats, as this is not a UFO. Instead, this is the guy's iPhone that's fallen out of his pocket. I'm really not sure who takes their iPhone skydiving, or who puts it in their pocket. But this guy clearly did, and as you can tell by his face, he was blissfully unaware as his iPhone plummets to the ground. It's safe to say he didn't find it again, but if he did, I'm sure it wouldn't be working. If it was a Nokia brick, however, it would have slammed into the center of the earth. It really is nothing stronger than a Nokia. Have you guys ever broken technology in an insane way? If so, then let me know in the comments. No offense, but I doubt anyone's story is as extreme as this guy's skydiving story. Next up is jeans. So we all know that one of the most embarrassing things are sunburns. It can make you look incredibly ridiculous, especially when your friend decides to prank you with a summer tattoo. Well, one sunny day, a girl decided to wear a new pair of jeans. She was looking forward to showing off this new fashion.
Yo, appreciate that,
and
Brandon.
her jeans
That really means a lot, Brody. That really means a lot, my man.
So fashionable, they had holes in
I will
it. She
be
had a
streaming
good day, but
later today for at least 8 hours again. At least 8 hours.
when she awoke the next day, things were not good whatsoever. As you can see, it looks like she's knelt down with red paints. But no, instead she just wore jeans with holes and got sunburned. To be fair, you wouldn't think to put sunscreen only on your knees. But guys, seeing as summer's coming up, maybe you should start doing this if you're wearing holes with jeans. I guess today she could wear shorts and knee pads only, and then she can go for a sunburn. Another key piece of advice is don't fall asleep while having a snack. Another girl also learned that the hard way. Next up is not an excellent morning. So if you work in a business which involves shipping, you know that a lot of things can go wrong. On YouTube, there are entire videos dedicated to compilations of shipping fails. But these usually involve large metal containers, not the most critical things known to man. But of course being eggs. One day somebody came into work at their egg job and they saw this. To be honest, when I saw this, all I could see was Russell Crowe. I'm assuming that's some kind of poster and he's not doing a side job then. I know when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But what if life gives you yolks? I guess if life gives you yolks, it's time to clean up. I feel seriously sorry for these two guys. Side job then. I know when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. But what if life gives you yolks? I guess if life gives you yolks, it's time to clean up. I feel seriously for these two guys cleaning this whole mess up. And the guy taking this image really does need to pitch in. Who knows? Maybe this is just how to basic CX. But guys, have you ever seen such a bad workplace mess?
You want me to kill you?
Next up is screwdriver. So screwdrivers are made to solve problems. If you need to mend or fix something which is called screws, then they are essential. But one day a guy got screwed by his own screwdriver. As you can see, he was trying to unscrew two large bits of metal. This screw came off the metal and he thought he'd done it. But then he took a second look and to his amazement, his screwdriver had broken in the screw. I'm guessing the strongest man in the world screwed this on the first time. But really, have you ever seen a screwdriver break in a screw? I'm going to take a wild guess and say this tool was made in China. But guys, have you ever had something this annoying and ridiculous happen to you? The whole purpose of the tool is something to help you, but it looks like this tool is not doing its job. Next up is puppy. So this is an example of somebody who really does want to go back to bed right after waking up. One morning, somebody woke up and went downstairs to make their morning cup of coffee. But as they were at the top of the stairs about to go down, this was the sight they saw. What would your first reaction to this be? You would likely assume it would be both. Or perhaps a wild bear entering your house. But no, instead it's something much, much more innocent. Or at least seemingly innocent. You see, this guy recently got a new puppy. He'd been having the puppy sleep in his room for a while, but he wants to have a first attempt at giving the puppy free rein downstairs. But as you can see from this image, it doesn't look like he's quite ready to be left alone. He destroyed his own cage, tore his whole bedding, and it looks like he peed on the floor too. Grizzly bear or what? I just hope this puppy doesn't get too big when he has At least this guy has a DIY chicken wire fence to keep his dog downstairs. You may as well not ruin your entire house, right? Next up is shipment. So we've already seen one massive shipment fail on this list. That was of course with the
the 57 up in the stream chat. Make sure you like up the stream and
Oh, don't worry, that's not the only shipment fail on this list. We all know that eggs are very breakable, but at least they're pretty cheap and easy to clean up. One thing that's not, however, is a glass bottle of Coca-Cola. Well, how about 1,000 glass bottles of Coca-Cola? Well, this is one guy who had one terrible morning coming into work. He shared this image and said, Coke shipping came into work last night. Walked in to see this morning. Maybe whoever's working in that warehouse is on Coke. I'm not sure which kind though. You never know. Maybe this was an evil plan done by Pepsi. But can you imagine the cleanup required after this? Not only is there broken glass everywhere, but there's also sticky liquid all over the floor. I just hope this warehouse is ant-proof. And considering one of those glass bottles costs so much, I guess this is a big financial loss. The customers at this restaurant better get used to hearing, is Pepsi okay? Which shipping fail is worse, the Coca-Cola one or the egg one? Leave a comment letting me know what you think. Next up is sub-fail. So usually after a bad day, one nice thing you can look forward to is lunch. So this guy had a street top and Subway sandwich. He walked into the sandwich shop and asked that they cut the sandwich into 3 pieces. But when he got back to his desk and unwrapped the sandwich, this is what he got. You don't exactly have to be a geometry expert to know that this is not how you cut a sandwich into 3 pieces. Maybe the lady told me to cut it in half and she didn't feel like making a bread. This is kind of like me when I have to share something with a sibling. You pretend you're getting equal pieces, but really, it's definitely not. That woman better be glad this guy's not a Yelper, otherwise she would be getting 1 star. Next up is impatience. So a lot of us aren't very patient people. It's kind of a natural human instinct. Now usually impatience isn't always a bad thing. In fact, sometimes it can help us. But when it comes to driving, patience is a good quality to possess. Well, that is exactly what these 2 people learned. One day at a highway toll booth, 2 people said me first. They then must have had one very intense 5-mile-an-hour race. But these 2 guys, trying to avoid a couple of seconds of waiting, ended up waiting around for hours. This is because they were stuck in this highway toll booth for absolutely ages. If you think it looks difficult to get into this position, think about how hard it is to get out. This took place in Buffalo, New York. And if you know anything about New York drivers, this makes a whole lot of sense. I guess this is what happens when the 2 most stubborn people on the road finally meet. Next up is keyed. Have you ever gotten your car keyed before? If so, you know it's incredibly annoying. And it also often means some really mean guys out to get you. Well, one day somebody was accidentally keyed. But you will not believe how it happened. One day a guy was driving when he had to pull over due to a flat tire. He then inspected his tire and found a key he'd ran over. But unfortunately, he'd realized he'd been keyed in a very odd way. Somebody must have dropped their key on the road and this guy's accidentally ran over it. The guy posted this online and said he'll give the key back if the owner changes his tire. But looking at this key, something tells me the owner's not going to want it back. This happened in Russia and went viral. And it's not hard to see why, as this guy's literally having the worst luck of his life. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote the person who was the most unlucky on this list. If you guys want more amazing videos, then check out my 2nd channel for more. There'll be Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 13 strange things. But first, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming up first, let's look at Cow ID. Most people around the world have some kind of ID cards. Whether it's a driver's license or a passport, everyone has one. But it is